देश के इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम के भरोसेमंद एम्बेसडर होते हैं। आप सरकार और टैक्स देने वाले नागरिकों और कंपनियों के बीच इंटरफेस का काम करते हैं। आपका सिग्नेचर देश के प्रधानमंत्री के सिग्नेचर की वो ताकत नहीं है जो ताकत एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के सिग्नेचर की होती है।
S stands for Sustainability and Social Impact. That is embedded in ICAI's core and actions. H, Holistic Professional and Leadership Development. CA Charanjot Singh Nanda is an ardent proponent of holistic professional and leadership development. He believes that a healthy mind and a balanced life are the true foundations of professional success. A, for accelerating digital transformation. To keep Indian CAs at the forefront, ICAI is continuously accelerating digital transformation initiatives and has further strengthened the AI in ICAI committee. S, for stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement is vital for true progress, and President ICAI strongly advocates public participation, emphasizing Janabhagidari at all levels. ICAI will actively collaborate with stakeholders for knowledge sharing, policy making, educating and creating awareness, and fostering collective growth.
Chartered accountant stands not for chartered accountant, but credibility ambassadors, change accelerators, and I would urge you to be conscious arbiters, ethical guardians, and bold decision makers.
And nation first approach. Dedicating over 1.4 million CA professionals and students for the progress of the nation. I stands for innovation and entrepreneurship. Driving startups and MSMEs through initiatives like the ICAI Startup Samvad and MSME Yatra. ICAI provides free advisory services, capacity building programs, and financial empowerment, strengthening MSMEs as the growth engines of the economy. Why? Youth and women-led development. ICAI believes that youth are the architects of change and women-led development is the foundation of a progressive nation. With 67% of its members aged 40 or younger and one-third being women, ICAI is fostering a new era of leadership and inclusivity. A for accountability, trust and transparency. As the financial soldier of the economy, ICAI marches with accountability, stand firm on trust and illuminate the path with transparency, safeguarding prosperity, ensuring stability and strengthening the financial landscape of the country. Vishwasniya is a vision where digital revolution, leadership, innovation, integrity, sustainability unite with humanity to shape a prosperous India. Together, we forge a developed India that inspires the world. ICAI है निरंतर प्रयासरत, अपने लक्ष्य की ओर बनाना है विकसित भारत, थामे सशक्त विश्वास की डोर.
Thank you very much. It is my honor now to invite on the dais the Honorable Chief Guest of the 77th Chartered Accountants Day. Please welcome Shri Hardeep Singh Puri, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, a career diplomat and an author, and will be joined on the dais by CA Charanjot Singh Nanda, Honorable President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, CA Prasanna Kumar T, Honorable Vice President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, CA Dr. Jay Kumar Batra, Secretary ICI, and CA Jagjit Singh Jaggs, Chairman NIRC ICI. This is a very momentous occasion. Sir, we are celebrating 77 Chartered Accountants Day, and we're extremely delighted to have your gracious presence in Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi today. Can we request the console to please dim the lights? Thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to request CA Charanjot Singh Nanda, President ICAI, and CA Prasanna Kumar D, Vice President ICAI, to felicitate our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri. Honorable Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1974, retired in 2013, so a career spanning 39 years, and served in senior positions at the Ministries of External Affairs and Defence, eco-friendly welcome there with a planter, and a shawl as we welcome the chief guest. Mr. Puri has extensive experience in multilateral diplomacy, long association with and specialization in trade-related matters. He is an author too.
His popular book, Perilous Interventions, The Security Council in the Politics of Chaos. And sir, we share a common thing. I'm a Hinduite too. Mr. Puri did his graduation and post-graduation from Hindu College, Delhi University. Thank you very much, sir, for your gracious presence today. I now request Secretary ICAI for his welcome address. Please welcome CA Dr. Jay Kumar Batra. Thank you.
Namaskar and very warm welcome to all of you. With this Sanskrit shlok, I wish that the entire world is united, cooperate, collaborate, grow and progress for the welfare of entire mankind. And your institute, my institute, our institute, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India takes the leadership role to fulfill, to support the dream vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vish Guru Bharat, Viksit Bharat, leading towards a futuristic, prosperous, inclusive and developed society. With this, following the rich tradition, culture, ethics and values of our great country India. At first, on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which is the world's largest professional accounting body, serving around 15 lakhs members and students, which has 179 branches in India, 5 regional councils, 54 overseas chapters, 31 representative offices in the 85 global cities of 47 countries of the world. I would like to extend a very hearty warm welcome to our most valued invited chief guest of the day, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri ji, Honorable Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. We express our deep heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for gracing this occasion. So I request all the participants, all the guests who are here to welcome our chief guest with a huge round of applause. We are extremely honored to have with us our Honorable President ICAI, CA Charanjot Singh Nanda ji, our Honorable Vice President CA Prasanna Kumar ji, our CA Hardeep Singh Puri, Chairman, Northern India Regional Council of ICAI. Of the dais, I extend my warm welcome to distinguished government nominees and other respective Central Council members, respected past presidents, respected past Central Council members, chairmen and the members of the Menu Committee of all the regional councils and branches who are witnessing the celebrations of this 77th Chartered Accountants Day on virtual mode. I also welcome all the Menu Committee members from our overseas chapters, represent offices outside India. I welcome our other officials of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs who are present here, all other professional bodies under Ministry of Corporate Affairs who are here to witness the celebrations, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that our institute is a statutory body established by the Act of Parliament in 1949, and today we are known as the world's best professional accounting body for maintaining highly ethical and education standard and sustaining the stringent examination norms and rules standards for our students. I wish that ICAI takes the leadership role to support the dream vision of our Prime Minister of India to make India Viksit Bharat by 2047, the 100th year of India's independence. यहाँ पर एक बात मैं आप सभी लोगों से शेयर करना चाहूँगा, जिसे आप सबने भी सुना होगा। हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 29 जून 2025 को मन की बात के दौरान एक बात कही थी और मैं उसी बात को एक बार यहाँ दोहराना चाहूँगा। उन्होंने कहा, मैं एक खास दिन की याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ, यानी 1 जुलाई। 1 जुलाई को हम दो महत्वपूर्ण प्रोफेशन का सम्मान करते हैं, डॉक्टर और सीए। ये दोनों ही हमारे समाज के ऐसे स्तंभ हैं जो हमारी जिंदगी को बेहतर बनाते हैं। डॉक्टर्स हमारे स्वास्थ्य के रक्षक हैं और हमारे सीए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हमारे आर्थिक जीवन के मार्गदर्शक हैं। मेरी सभी डॉक्टर्स और चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। So from this platform here, from all of you who are present here, I would like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister for showing trust and confidence in all chartered accountants. And without taking much time, I will say, Sampurn Bhavtu Karyam Sarvesham Sannidhyo Shubhe Swagatam Atiti Nam Cha Vasudev Kutumbakam. May the celebrations of 77th day be successful with everyone's gracious presence as we welcome our guests under the ethos of universal family. Thank you very much. All the best to all the chartered accountants. All the best wishes to all of you on the celebrations of 77th Chartered Accountants Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CA Dr. Jaykumar Batra, Secretary ICAI, for your welcome address. And I now request CA Charanjot Singh Nanda, sir, President ICAI, to share his address on the occasion of 77th CA Day. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, the Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Gas, CA Shri Hardeep Puri ji, a man so humble, a man so accommodative that he has come here. He is very busy, he has another schedule, but he listened to our call. And for people like him, I can only submit, जो आला शख्स होते हैं, हमेशा झुक के मिलते हैं, सुराही पानी देती है, हमेशा सर नरम होकर. Such a great professional, a person so busy, yet coming for us at this hour, he has another meeting to attend. I want to wish you all a very happy 77th CA Day. I will not speak much. Sir has to go. We want to listen to his words of wisdom. But I want to say that all of us are partners in nation building, and each and every initiative of ours should be taken in the right stride. We all need to work for the furtherance of the cause of this great nation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, President Sir. We all await the address by the Honorable Chief Guest. But before that, I request for the launch of some of the initiatives by ICAI. The A in Vishwasaniya stands for Accelerating Digital Transformation. And as part of 77 CA Day celebrations, ICAI is delighted to launch Agent AI. I request the Honorable Chief Guest to please press the button of this remote so that we can launch the digital initiative, Agent AI, and also the recent publications of the Institute. Thank you very much. Congratulations on all these initiatives. I now request the Honorable Chief Guest for his address, please. Thank you.
President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Sardar Charanjot Singh Nanda ji, Vice President Prasanna Kumar ji, Secretary Jay Kumar Batra ji, Chairman of the Northern India Regional Council, Sardar Jagjit Singh Jagga ji, respected members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ladies and gentlemen. In the interest of full disclosure, I want to tell you that I was somewhat reluctant when I received the invitation to join you this evening. You might ask why. Because ever since I was a student, I was told that the most difficult profession in which you have to take an exam is that of chartered accountants. And I knew so many chartered accountants in the family, amongst the group of friends, all very distinguished people, that I used to say, let's take the easy way out. But I was also told, and I think with the benefit of my experience, that the two professions which do very well, irrespective of what is happening otherwise, are the chartered accountants and the lawyers. I don't know whether that's correct, but I'm very happy today to join you on this 77th Chartered Accountants Day celebration. We celebrate here not just the legacy of an institution, your 77th anniversary, but I think more important, we celebrate here the spirit of integrity, diligence, and nation building that defines this great profession. So I want to join by congratulating all of you. When you were founded in 1949, I believe, soon after we became and took shape as an independent country, you had, I believe, only about 1,700 members. Today, I am told by the figures that were provided to me by my research team, you have something like 4.5 lakh members. But I heard a figure mentioned recently, it may be even more than that. It's 5 lakhs. So I stand corrected. A journey from 1,700 members to 5 lakh members during this period. You have 10 lakh students who are also associated with you. This is not just growth in numbers, it is also in a way a reflection of India's rise as a global financial powerhouse and the trust that the world places in our standards and professions. With chapters in over 47 countries, ICAI is now a symbol of Indian excellence beyond our borders. So my heartiest congratulations. In a long career of 39 years as a foreign service officer and as a diplomat, I had the privilege of being posted as India's permanent representative both to the United Nations in Geneva and the United Nations in New York. And I know this is not directly related to your body, but it's in a sense indirectly related to the profession. We had the great pleasure of having the CAG win elections to major UN bodies. I think they did the audit of the WHO and then I think of the main UN, etc. And both during my tenure, those were elections we had to fight. But it's not just fighting in elections. You were coming on the basis of very well-developed professional standards. And you know, a body like the CAG will also have that, only they draw upon professional accounts and the kind of culture of accounting that develops in a country. Chartered accountants are in many ways the architects of financial integrity, the custodians of transparency, and partners in national governance. In a rapidly evolving financial world, your role has expanded beyond audits and balance sheets as you now help shape sustainability, accountability, and public trust in our institutions. Our own journey has been a somewhat interesting one. We often like to recall the past 10 or 11 years when the Indian economy in terms of global standing came from 11th position with a GDP of something like $2 trillion to now the 4th largest economy, waiting to be the 3rd largest economy in a short period of time with a GDP of $4.3 trillion. But actually, this is also only a small period in our economic history. If you were to go deeper into the economic history of this great country, you will find that, and I'm not saying this, I'm quoting a Cambridge historian called Angus Maddison for you. In the year 1700 or 1750 or so, India's contribution to the global economy, to the GDP of the global economy, Nandaji, was something like 25%. So it's not without reason that India or Bharat was referred to as a Sone ki chidiya. I'm mentioning 1700 and 1750 deliberately because if you trace the 190 years of British colonial domination, that 190 years would start with the Battle of Plassey or 1757. So you take 190 years from there to 1947. And what happened during that period? You witnessed the industrialization of the West, of the dominant colonial power, and the simultaneous deindustrialization of the colony or India. And look where we have come from there. Recently, we surpassed the United Kingdom to become the 5th largest economy in the world. We overtook Japan to become the 4th largest economy in the world. And we are, I think, if you go by the assessment of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, we are months away from overtaking Germany as the 3rd largest economy in the world. But sometimes, as you chartered accountants know, figures taken in isolation don't tell their story. When you look at series, when you look at that, you get a true picture. And I make a submission to you that our picture is actually much better than many people can understand. Why do I say that? Because the fifth largest economy that we overtook, United Kingdom, or the fourth largest economy that we undertook to become the fourth largest, Germany, they are growing at 2%. You are growing, we are growing at 6.5%. And Germany also is growing at 2%. Now, if you are growing at 2%, and I don't want to get into a numbers game, I have one person who's accompanying me today. I don't understand numbers, so I asked him what's happening in the global economy, etc. Believe me, and I want to quote for you in that context, something that I picked up this morning, some statistics, and they're fantastic. I want to read those out to you. Goldman Sachs has highlighted that India now is a core pillar of their Asia strategy, with equity capital markets contributing over 11% globally, which is more than double their earlier average. From tech and manufacturing to healthcare and clean energy, India is seeing strong investment momentum. In the last 2 months, this is a day-old report, 14 billion rupees of equity issuance was completed, reflecting deep investor confidence. With rapid growth in AI infrastructure and digital innovation, India is not rising, just rising. It is leading. The Walmart CEO, Douglas Millen, called India's growth rare. Rare for an economy of this size, and reaffirmed plans to source $10 billion annually from our country. He praised the innovation and scale of Indian ventures like Flipkart and PhonePe, calling them truly inspiring. This is a testament to the strength of our economy and the critical role professionals like you play in ensuring its integrity, transparency, and global credibility. Let me also go a little further. The World Bank's country director, Auguste Kouame, said India's economy is projected to grow by 6.3% in fiscal year 26, following 6.5% in fiscal year 25, with trade accounting for only 40% of GDP as compared to 80% in many Asian economies. India is better insulated from external shocks. Positioned as a key anchor in the global south, India is set to play a vital role in shaping the future of the global economy. I would go a step further than this. If you have, he says trade is 40% of our GDP. I would go a little further. I said if you look at our overall picture, the external sector accounts for about 50% of our GDP, which in essence means that if you add the value of goods imported and exported, value of services imported and exported, and the value of remittances, that's about 50%. But anyone, even with a nodding acquaintance of what's happening inside the Indian economy, the growth in the rural economy, the growth in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, will clearly realize that there is autonomous growth taking place here. That's reflected in our connectivity. We've gone from 74 airports in 2014 to over 150 now. If you look at the growth in our, urban transport system, I was Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs for 7 years, and I can tell you, we started when Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister with the urban transport metro system. When Modi ji assumed responsibility, it had risen to 202 kilometers or something like that total. Today we have 950 kilometers of metros systems operational and another 1,050 kilometers under construction. We will very soon be the second largest urban transport provider in the world, overtaking Korea, Japan, and the United States. United States has 1,560, but United States is fully developed. They don't need to build more metro transport, whereas we are now in the stage of rising. Let me also share some other statistics with you. In any discussion in a country like ours, maybe not as much with chartered accountants and big chartered accounting firms. But if you're looking at the performance of any economy, and especially some economy which has been under colonial domination for 190 years, you look at the rates of poverty. And here I think it's truly mind-boggling. I used to cite a figure of 250 million people being lifted out of multidimensional or abject poverty, and I saw the figures recently, it's actually higher. It's 279 million, or 27 or 28 crore Indians have been lifted out of multidimensional poverty. And if you look at our schemes for social and financial inclusion, under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, 4 crore homes have been given to beneficiaries or labharthis, and after the Honorable Prime Minister assumed office for the 3rd term, there's a decision to build another 3 crore homes. Now, if you talk about 4 crore and what it means in terms of population size of different countries, it's a mind-boggling figure. India's social safety net, more than 15.4 crore rural households have been connected with piped water under the Jal Jeevan Mission. India's social safety net has expanded. Ayushman Bharat now provides rupees 5 lakh health cover for over 70 crore citizens. Now, what is the Ayushman Bharat scheme? That every family can get a provisioning of up to 5 lakhs of rupees per year for medical treatment, diagnostics, surgery, post-operation care. Over the last 11 financial years, between 2014 and 25, India has attracted $748 billion in FDI, $748 billion, which represents a 143% increase over the previous decade. We are not just receiving more investment, we are being trusted by more investors, with source countries increasing from 89 to 112. This global confidence stems from reforms that made our system more transparent, efficient, and technology-driven. And without wishing to belabor a point, Nandaji, you will not have confidence in a system unless the economic entities and the others are properly audited, and the chartered accounting profession has also set itself up for higher standards. I know sometimes digressions take place, but as long as those are individual cases of acts of omission and commission, but the trust in the system, I think, is very high, and I commend you and the entire chartered accountants fraternity for that. Over the same period, we have seen the introduction and maturing of several landmark reforms, such as the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, PLI, GST, direct benefit transfer, scrapping of over 25,000 compliances, and repealing 1,400 obstinate laws. When we look at the transformation of the tax administration, the results speak for themselves. We had, in 2014, about 3.6 crore income tax returns were filed. This year, that number stands at 8.5 crores. From 3.6 crore returns in 2014 to 8.5 crores, and 95% of them are processed within 30 days. That's just not an operational achievement, but a cultural shift in compliance, participation, and national contribution. Each return filed, each rupee of tax collected contributed to real change. An LPG connection for a mother, medicines for the poor, electricity for a rural home, pensions for the elderly, or jobs for the youth. Taxation, when managed with integrity and efficiency, becomes a tool for empowerment. Since I spent the greater part of my professional life outside India, representing India, I am perhaps sometimes a little less patient with criticisms of how we do things, because I have a better understanding of where the criticism is coming from. One of the things that surprises me, they said, oh, you are a $4 trillion economy, but your per capita income is low. So I said, you want a separate discussion on per capita income, or do you want a separate discussion on where we are going? Because if you compare our per capita income with, let's say, highly developed countries, you should also then look at their per capita debt. If our per capita income is, let's say, $2,800, $3,000, and we were compared, our per capita debt is what? $1,000 or thereabouts? I'm looking at my research assistant for a nod. And where is the one highly developed country? They've got a debt of, I don't want to give the figure. It's mind-boggling if you look at their debt. I mean, an economy which we just overtook, their per capita debt is $40,000. So what would you have? No, I want to ensure that our GDP goes from 4 trillion to 7 trillion to 10 trillion, which it will. You don't require knowledge of rocket science to know that if you're growing at 6.5% with a $4 trillion economy, it's only a matter of time so you become a $7 trillion economy or otherwise. So this goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047, जो प्रधानमंत्री जी का सपना है, संकल्प है, it's not only attainable. When we started talking about a $5 trillion economy some years ago, when I joined the Honorable Prime Minister, people used to, look at us with cynicism. Today, nobody questions that. The fact that you're going to be a $5 trillion economy and that you're going to overtake the 4th largest economy to become the 3rd largest economy in a matter of months is taken for granted. You know what they say then? अरे भाई आप की GDP size तो बढ़ जाएगा, आप हो सकता है 30, 35, 40 trillion के हो जाए, but you will not be a developed country. So you ask them, says who? Says who? नहीं, वो developed country बनने के लिए, I have been a student of the multilateral system. मैंने UN system में कहीं developed country की परिभाषा नहीं देखी. I know what a least developed country is. That's defined. I know what a developing country is. That's defined. I know what graduation is, how you move from being a least developed to a developing country, and how, but wait a minute. You want to compare my healthcare system with some of the highly developed countries? I can lay a bet that many people in the West, in the highly developed countries, if they are given a choice of falling ill in a country like India or in the West, where there are high health insurance premiums, etc., they will say, I'd rather fall ill in India because you'll get a better quality of healthcare. And our doctors are second to none. Our hospitals are second to none. That is the difference. So I don't think that, the criticism, and there is envy, yes, I accept that. But, they'll have to take it in their stride, because the fact is, by 2030, which is a tipping point, things will change. Now, Nandaji, I thought I had been invited here to talk about the sustainability part, so I'll just spend 2 minutes on that. One of your introductory statements talked about the net zero commitment, etc. A few days ago, when there were global tensions were at their peak in a nearby part of the world, proximate to us, I'm talking about the Gulf, everybody said, India, we have what? 1.4 billion people, 140 crores. अगर उनकी आप analysis करो, उसमें alarmists कितने हैं? Those who are wanting to create a crisis every day. मेरे कुछ पत्रकार मित्र भी आए, they're very close friends of mine. They keep coming to me, looking for a fire. So I said, you are the fire brigade, but I must have a fire first. I said, कुछ नहीं होगा, तेल के दाम भी सही रहेंगे, don't worry. And the price of oil is back to 67. Why do I say that? There's enough oil available in the world, and it's available with people who is a new find, including in the Western Hemisphere. But look at India's story. We used to buy oil from 27 countries, crude oil. We are buying it from 40 countries. We had a 1.4% biofuel blending in the year 2014 when Modi ji took over. We had a target of 10% blending by 2022. We achieved it 5 months in advance. We had a 10% blending target for biofuels, ethanol by 2030. We did that 6 years in advance. Today we are the second highest biofuel blending nation in the world. And today when I look at it, Any day you could raise it from 20 to 25% and 30%. You have to just do your consultation and take what is along. Our green hydrogen story. I believe green hydrogen is the fuel of the future. When a green hydrogen bus flies on Delhi's road, the only thing it throws in the air is water vapor. And if similarly you talk about CBG, natural gas is a case in point. Very often I think that instead of being called a petroleum and natural gas minister, I should be called the Minister for Energy Transition. Because everybody here is now talking about electric vehicles. I'm very excited about that. But since that belongs to another ministry, I don't like to take too much credit. But I can tell you, if you look at the overall energy transition which is taking place in India, yeah, you will be using fossil fuels and crude oil for a long time to come. But the amount of natural gas we are using, clean cooking gas. I want to tell you another thing. In the year 2014, we had 14 crore connections. Today, that 14 crore LPG connections has gone up to 33 crores. Now, if you presume that one connection is given per household has 4 members, you've actually saturated the country. Then if you look at natural gas, over and above that, natural gas, we had 14,000 kilometers, I think, in 2014. Today, we have to achieve 33,000 kilometers. We've already got 22,500 kilometers. And natural gas, which comes through the pipeline, that is natural, it's clean. The LPG gas is the product of what is made in a refinery, and that natural gas is also about 15-20% cheaper than the other gas. Just now, one of my oil companies, and we are very proud of that, has issued a major tender for green hydrogen production. And I'll just conclude by saying one thing, that I think green hydrogen will succeed in India, or rather it will succeed in any country where there is a lot of local demand, local production and local consumption. Because the gas by itself does not lend itself to transportation. You can transport green ammonia, etc. So India is another very prominent success story there. I just want to conclude quickly with some statistics. The Unified Payments Interface UPI has become the backbone of India's digital economy. As of mid-2025, India contributes nearly 50% of all real-time digital transactions globally, with over 500 million active users. India's fintech adoption rate stands at 87% to a global rate of average of 67%. With more than 1.4 billion Aadhaar enrollments and mobile penetration exceeding 1.2 billion subscriptions, the digital identity and access are becoming universal. Financial inclusion has become a reality. Under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, over 55 crore accounts have been opened, with total deposits crossing rupees 2.5 lakh crores. The JAM Trinity, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and mobile has enabled more than rupees 34 lakh crore worth of DBT transfers to 2014. And I want to conclude finally with the GST implementation. I think a reference has been made here. This is the 8th year of GST. And we now have 88 lakh active registration for the stock markets. Meteoric rise with BSE market cap crossing rupees 400 lakh. The role of chartered accountants remains central to this. And I'd like to highlight that oil and gas PSUs, which I represent, have seen their market capitalization nearly double to rupees 8.7 lakh crore since 2014. And I finally want to conclude by saying that as we move towards a Viksit Bharat by 2047, your profession will be called upon again and again to ensure transparency, efficiency and accountability across sectors. On this special day, never forget that this profession has the power to protect and sustain the entire economy, ensuring stability and growth. Once again, I extend my heartfelt wishes to the entire faculty of the Institute and all the chartered accountants present here on the occasion of ICAI's Foundation Day. Your reputation, steadfastness and dedication are vital for building a developed India, Viksit Bharat. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for sharing India's growth story and highlighting the pivotal role that chartered accountants play in it. I'd like to request now the Honorable Vice President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, CA Prasanna Kumar T, to propose formal vote of thanks.
Most respected Sardar Hardeep Singh Puri sir, Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gases, Government of India, and Chief Guest for the 77th CA celebrations in Delhi, and other dignitaries on the dais, and my fellow colleagues in the Central Council, dignitaries of the dais, and fellow chartered accountants. Good evening to all of you. So today is a very great day. We have got the right person to as a chief guest today. Sir has spoken so well. He has spoken the entire gamut of our country. 360-degree view of the country he has shown to us within a short span of time. Right from the economy of the country and also the urban infrastructure, urban alleviation of poverty in urban areas, and urban development and health, income tax returns and whatnot. So per capita income versus the debt is a very important thing that we want to study, and sustainability, green energy, and digital currencies ultimately leading to the Viksit Bharat 2047. Everything so lucidly explained. Sir, thank you very much, sir, for the excellent presentation you have given. We're all thrilled and blessed today.